Welcome back, y'all, to the channel. I'm your host, the Bionic Handman. Today we're going to be talking about my new attachment for my prosthetic. If you watched my previous video, it was on the Taska hand and everything that it can and can't do, and pretty much how much more I can do with that. Now, my new attachment is not in any means to replace my brand new one. This is a used model that I have, but it does work, and this one is going to be for more of a working situation. Like if I gotta do some stuff around the house that requires a little bit more strength, a little more dexterity to hold something that the Taska just, or at least I don't feel comfortable with as far as using the Taska. So, not to get too much into it, let's just, get right into it. Try not to make this video too long. This is the OttoBock Greifer. This is an older model. Typically it is this color, like the tannish, grayish color. I took it upon myself to take off some of these panels and spray paint it, make it look a little bit more appealing, and also to kind of match the carbon fiber prosthetic arm. So that was just an aesthetic thing, because I'm kind of at the point where I don't so much care about the normality of my prosthetic, like how normal it looks. I need it to be functional, and if that's a claw or a clamp, then so be it. If I can do more with this work-wise, like operating a weed whacker, or a shovel or a broom or anything like that, if it's just that much easier with this, then I'll use this. And if I want to look normal or I'm going somewhere, I will I'll use my Taska hand. And both of them have their different needs and limitations as far as what they're what's better for what, and this, that, and the other. And I'll get into that, and I'll give some demonstrations of just how much easier this is to use as far as like hands-on stuff, precise grip stuff. So without further ado, I'm not going to show you how I put my prosthetic arm on. I already have it on. You saw that in my last video, how I do that. Hasn't changed, exact same way. So basically all I do, take that, put it on, and now I'm ready to go. I can open, close. Now I'm still getting used to this one. The threshold, the amount of muscle or contraction that it takes to open and close this device is a lot higher than my Taska hand. So my Taska, I can sit there and open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close very easily, because the threshold to open and close that is it's a lot lower, and I can also change it on my computer. I can change, just how easy and how sensitive the sensors are, not only from the sensors themselves, but on the computer through the hand itself. With that being said, the Greifer is basically it's a gear system. So a set of gears is what opens and closes this, and then electric motor is what turns it. The great thing about the Grifer is, let me hold up. There we go. Is this lever right here. Let me see if y'all can see it. So this lever right here is what locks the gears in place. So, right now, if I try to force or close the Grifer, it's not going to open or close without, spinning the dial here, which can also be done manually. So if I need to manually open or close this, I can. If for whatever reason this isn't working, like the gears inside aren't working, or I can't physically, you know, get the teeth or get the Greifer to open or close by myself, I can then flip this up, and now the Greifer opens freely. So that's a cool feature. You know, definitely if I grab onto something and I need to let go of it, and I'm in a panic and I can't get it to open, I can flip that switch open and lock it back in place and you know, go about my day. It does flex, so you know, I can turn it this way, I can turn it that way, turn it straight, whatever, to get a better angle on things. The other thing that I really, really like about it is it's very, very strong. Try to show you here. This is a little rubber, almost like it's like a tapered plug. So let's see. I haven't tried this, so I don't know what it's going to look like when I crush it. But you know, I don't know if you can tell. You know, I'm crushing that plug. Let's see, something else here. I wonder if I can crush this light bulb. I probably shouldn't do this, but we're gonna go ahead and try it anyway. Cover my eyes. Oh! That's awesome. All right, so it's strong enough. It crushed that little bulb. So that's pretty cool. That's a first for me. Now I gotta clean this shit up. Don't do that at home. Just put that over there behind the desk. Alright, so a human hand can't do that. So that's just how strong this thing is, and I absolutely love that. One, because I have the confidence that this thing isn't going to let go. Not to say that the Taska doesn't have great grip. It has a good grip on it. Like, it really, really does. But the fingers, the joints are meant to open if forced enough. So if I were to take one of my fingers on my Taska hand and force it open, it's going to open. And over time, those eventually wear out. The Taska, if you pull hard enough on something, or you pull hard enough with the Taska, those fingers are going to open. This is not, because it's gear driven. Now, that's not to say that this can't be broken open. I'm sure if you put enough force on it, it will. But if I were to ever put enough force to actually break this open, I'm sure that this would break off my wrist first before actually breaking the Grifer itself. Along with you know, the strength and everything and being able to hold things confidently, most of the times when I'm using my Taska hand, I accidentally open the hand. And again, that goes back to the threshold. It's a lot easier to open and close it, and if I turn the sensitivity too far down, it makes it harder to use. I still need to tweak with it. Maybe I can get it close to the threshold like this, because I don't always accidentally open this. But the great feature about this is that, say I don't want to switch between my wrist, the wrist and the grip. So right now I'm on the wrist, right? And if I want to go back to this to the clamp, I just, you know, I do my contraction, and now when I do my muscle, it opens and closes. Well, say I want to hold this, but I don't want it to I don't want it to come out accidentally. Well, right here on both sides of the Grifer, let's see. So you got one there and one here. Now they both go up simultaneously. What that does is it turns power off to the Grifer. So now if I switch back to the grips, so now I'm not on the wrist, it will not open or close. and it's got that strong grip on there, and it's not opening up. I can still manually open it. Yeah. And still manually close it. But electronically, if I send a signal, it's not going to open. I love that. If I'm, using my weed whacker, or I'm pushing a shopping cart at Walmart, or pushing the lawnmower, and I'm putting force on either, the sensors, sometimes you put enough force, it'll mistake it for an open or closed signal. And, God, this heater's hot. Whew. And sometimes that's not good. I could be holding something that's breakable if I drop it, or, or whatever. So that's what I really, really love about it, is that I can turn that off and hold something without the worry of it opening and losing any of its grip. I tested that out, pretty well. If you saw my Instagram, I was tugging on a fishing rod that was attached to my garage door, and the Greifer held up really, really well. With that being said, it makes it a lot easier to hold a fishing rod for demonstration purposes. Ooh, I need a taller garage ceiling. So I just take it here, and then get it as tight as possible, and then turn off the Greifer. So now I can hold the fishing rod with confidence. It's not going to go anywhere. If I set the hook on a fish, I'm most likely putting both hands on it so the Greifer doesn't actually come out. But from that video, obviously it won't come out. It's, it holds on to it pretty well. Now, I'm on the wrist. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. There's a lot of things that this thing can do. The dexterity of this is just amazing. Alright, I don't know if y'all can see what this is. So this is a tackle box separator. So you use this in a tackle box to separate fishing lures and stuff. Now, no shame on Taska, but a Taska hand cannot pick that up. Now, some might say, oh, why don't you just pick it up with, your good hand? Well, because that's just boring, right? Why not pick it up? Ooh, just kidding, right? Why not pick it up with the Greifer? Right? That thing is almost, it's really thin. Okay, it's got a little bit of a beveled edge on there, or, the top piece, so it sticks up a little bit. Here's, I don't know the exact name of it at the moment, whatever. Alright, it's thin, there's no sides to pick it up, whatever. Alright? It's being difficult. Alright, there we go. So, it's very easy to pick up things. Pick up a lot of things. Makes things, that much easier. Here. This is 5 pounds. I have picked this up before. Again, this is something I don't want to drop, so I lock the hand in place. And, like I said, it's not letting it go. Oh, that does hurt, though. Ow. Especially after fishing today. I put my limb to the extreme. I've never put it to that much extent as far as having something at the end of this. My limb literally stops right about here on my prosthetic arm. And the amount of weight, 5 pounds at the end of this, it really, after a while, it starts to hurt. But aside from that, I mean, this thing is really, really great. You know, part of the reason why I'm making this video is you don't see videos about the Greifer. You don't really even see any videos about a lot of people using their prosthetic. Not personal videos. It's more the company that made it. You know, OttoBock or Taska or B Bionic, who makes the B Bionic hand, or I think that's Open Bionics. No. B Bionic is OttoBock, my bad. Open Bionics is the hero arm, my bad. You know, you don't see a lot of personal people actually using it or showing what these people can do with it. I mean, there's a lot of things that this thing can do, and it's just freaking neat. You know, just how useful this thing really is. I mean, just to show you, before, well, when I had two hands, as anyone knows, when you rig a Texas rig, you have an EWG hook, right? And say you want to put on a Senko, right? On these big old Guggen Senkos, right? Well, with the Taska, I tried it. I really, really tried to make it work. I couldn't. I just could not get it to work. With the Greifer, it is that much easier. I mean, when I was fishing today, I broke my line. I had to cut my line twice because I got hung up on something underneath the water. And the majority of the times when you know, before, when I broke a line or I had to cut it, that was it. If I didn't have another rod to use, that was it. I went home. I actually was able to retie while fishing and didn't have to go home. That is something I missed being able to do, because being out there trying to fish and, you know, you have a line that breaks and you're not being able to continue just because of a broken line sucks. And being able to retie, continue to fish, that to, you know, fisherman to fisherman, that's the best feeling ever. So, I mean, just this thing is absolutely amazing, and I love it. I'm glad that I was able to find one for a good price. I mean, not even I got lucky finding this, or finding the gentleman that sold me this. It's not near that what I paid for this is not near as much as what I'm paying for my Taska hand, and partially I wish I had seen more videos about the Grifer, or more personal use of the Grifer, found more amputees that had a Grifer, and I think that would have changed my decision. I think I would have probably ended up with a brand new Grifer, the newer model, which the only difference is it's actually closer to this color that I have painted, and the only other difference is on the bottom here they have like a little flashlight, LED light that you can turn on. They call it torch mode, which is, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of cool. Have a little flashlight at the end of your hand. You don't have to carry one. That's a very expensive flashlight, though. But I absolutely Love this thing. I still love my Taska hand. I use it when I'm not using this. So it's not like it's going unused. I'm not ungrateful about it. But like I said, after having both from a functionality and a normality point of view, I would rather have functionality than look normal. I'm never gonna be normal again. So I'd rather have functionality. I want to be able to open doors if I'm holding something with this hand, which is something this can do. I can't open a door with a Taska hand if my other hand is full. I can't. But I can open this, clamp down on the knob, and then turn. I can open up a door if this hand is full. If I'm holding something in this hand that this can't, I can open the door with that. And that's, again, it goes back to, do I want to look normal or do I want to be able to open up a door? You know, getting dressed, putting on socks, you know, this honestly works much better than the Taska hand. I hate to admit it, it really does. But it, you know, it is what it is. I still love it. It's a great prosthetic. I mean, it's the first and only waterproof prosthetic. This is not waterproof. If I were to get this wet from the wrist down, it will stop working. If I got the Taska hand wet from the wrist down, it'll be perfectly fine. Anything from the wrist up is vulnerable. You know, but not that I ever plan on, you know, submerging either one of these or being anywhere close enough to water, you know, like where I'm going to get in the water. But nonetheless, you know, it's great. I love it. You know, trying to think of what else I can show you I can do with it. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw me take a screwdriver and you know, just sit there and turn with it. That's pretty, you know, lazy man screwdriver. Like, you know, here, just take this. And then I can just sit there and screw away. So, I think that's about it. Just to kind of describe what, you know, what it's like having the Greifer and how much more effective it is for a lot of the stuff that I do. Taska might be great for someone else that's not nearly as active as me, or, you know, maybe for someone that grew up without a hand. It would probably be a lot better for someone like that. Prosthetics, I think, at least for me, is a lot better functionality wise. I grew up 28 years having two hands, and it sucked. It sucked losing my hand. There was a lot of stuff that I thought I'd never be able to do. Playing catch was one of them, but that's actually not impossible. I was actually able to put a glove on the end of my nub and just almost palm catch it. You know, obviously I don't open the glove, but I catch it on the outside of the glove, and I could actually still play catch. So, you know, nothing's impossible as long as you put your head, you know, as long as you put your mind to it. But yeah, I think that's about it, y'all. There's not much much more I could say about it. If you have any questions about the Greifer, or you want me to make a specific video, like showing me do something around the house, you know, stuff like that, leave it down in the comments below. I'll try to make a video of it, and I'll post it to my Instagram. It's the same exact name as my YouTube channel, the Bionic Handman. And I'll go ahead and I'll make that video, and I'll post it on my Instagram so that you can see it, or you know, if you DM me, I can send it to you personally. But be sure, you know, if you like the video, you like what I'm doing. I know I haven't posted a lot lately, but if you like my content, guys, you want to see more of it, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. It helps my channel out. I know I'm not huge or anything like that. I got like 120 or so, 128 or so followers. I'd much appreciate it if you start following. I'll give you a follow back if it leaves me a notification of who's following me. But yeah, just go ahead, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll continue to try to make good content for y'all. So, till next time, y'all. Peace out.